It gives me great pleasure to introduce RFFI Board Chair Kathleen Moxon. I've had the good fortune of working closely with Kathy for the past 7 years. She's been on the RFFI board since 2003 and board chair for more than 10 years. Kathy lives in Northern California's Humboldt County and has been a leader in economic and community development in rural Northwest California for the past 30 years. RFFI and I have thrived because of Kathy's passion, commitment, and leadership. Please welcome our RFFI Board Chair, Kathleen Moxon.
Thanks, Mark. I'm glad you all joined us today. You know, sheltering in place in Redwood country has its advantages. I think this is the first time I put on earrings in 3 months. So that's nice. You know, at our strategic retreat this year, and we do that every year, there were 32 board, staff, and community stakeholders. And one of the first things we did was we revisited our origin story, just to get back to our roots. And in that origin story, I thought you might want to go over it again too. So remember that there was a diverse and courageous group of Mendocino community members who really had one thing in common, and that was the love of the place they lived. They were sort of caught in the chaos of the timber wars and Redwood summer, and were watching as large tracts of timberland were cut over and then sold or converted to other uses, mainly vineyards in Mendocino County and homes. Those same tracts of land were the ones that built the economies of those communities, and that created some angst. So they could envision, though, a timberland sustainably managed where profits didn't go to distant corporate pockets, but were reinvested in the health of the forests and in the communities. They had a dream, but there were questions. Could a community group, not government, but a community group really purchase timberland, like put the money together to purchase timberland? Could environmentalists, loggers, academics, elected officials, foresters, and other interested community members really agree on forest management decisions? Could forests in the conditions they're in be actively managed to pay the bills and pay back the debt without compromising future ecosystem health? Could a new relationship really be forged between the forests and the residents? Well, here we are, 13 years into that challenge, and sometimes it still feels like we're at the beginning of that journey. As you know, we purchased Usal Forest in 2007, and we sort of consider Usal Redwood Forest as our laboratory. It's the place where we engage residents in governance and management decision-making. It's the place where we do sustainable forest management and ecosystem restoration. We do job creation there, we create cultural partnerships there, and we provide educational opportunities on that land. We have a lot to be proud of. After all, we did purchase 50,000 acres when people thought it couldn't be done, and some even felt like a community had no business owning timberland. We sold a conservation easement to help reduce the debt. We got our Forest Stewardship Council certification. We have hired an outstanding RFFI staff and an extremely competent forest management team. We did the development and implementation of the largest carbon sequestration project in California, 8th in the nation. Our biochar project was highlighted in the DiCaprio documentary, Ice on Fire. Those are pretty significant milestones for a community group who had a dream. You know, this past year, we've been really developing a deep understanding of the conditions of the forest. The conditions created by aggressive profit taking at the expense of forest health. And it will take time to restore this forest to productivity. We purchased the property with the help of Bank of America, and we're grateful they helped make us happen. It would not have happened if they were not there. And now we're on the road to repaying the debt, and I'm happy to say we're current on payments. In fact, we're actually ahead of schedule on paying the bank. We're presently doing light touch forestry with a significant amount of restoration, and income from our carbon credit sales is what allows us to do that. We've been doing some citizen science. One is tracking the sudden oak death. on our property, which there has not been, but we do testing on a regular basis. And we are planting redwoods both on USAL and on other properties with our Plant a Redwood tree. But, you know, there's still more to do. We're talking about the future of the forest and trying to define what restoration forestry looks like on USAL. Not an easy task. A lot of us are lay people and aren't foresters. So us just getting our arms around what that even means and the decisions that go into play when you're thinking about the future condition of forests has been an interesting task for me, I know. We'd like to restructure the balance of our debt, better aligning our debt payments with the capacity of the forest to pay it off in a timely manner. We're about ready to close on our first purchase of additional property called the Rice Ranch, which is a 95-acre ranch within the borders of USAL. And that property will also be covered with a conservation easement. It's integral to our timber operation because we own timber around it. So purchasing it was the right thing to do for our integral timber operation. But we're also beginning to imagine what the buildings that are on that property might be used for. So that'll be interesting to see in the future. We continue to expand resident engagement in both governance and management decision-making. And then we have a target of completing our long-range strategic plan early this year. So we have a lot to do, but we enjoy it. I am still as committed as I was when I got involved in 2000. And I want to thank all of you who came before me and all of you who walk with me right now in this endeavor. I hope that all of you out there on this call are here at the annual meeting because you see the possibilities. You share our dream. Just get involved. This is the year. Get involved and be part of RFFI's story of success. So thanks again. Stay tuned in. This is a great show. I've already seen it a couple times.